Hello everyone, my name is Ash. I am a senior at the University of Kentucky pursuing a degree in marketing. Today for this LCP presentation, I'm going to be talking about the issue with college and how outdated it has become. Now I chose to talk about this topic because after being a college student for 4 years, I believe that the college education is not worth it for its price. I have also noticed that the education system is very outdated as it follows the old school structure regime of teaching, which is not really relevant and fitting to today's audience. Specifically, the three main points I will be talking about in this video will be how expensive college is, how there are a lot of alternatives to college, and finally, how the courses students take are not relevant to their major and is a waste of time and money. Let's begin by talking about the ridiculous price tag for college education. Now, US stands at a record of $1.34 trillion of student debt. That's not a million, that's not a billion, that's $1 trillion just to acquire college education. Now, that is a very expensive number. And student loans debt is different from any other types of debt. For instance, let's say a consumer who can't afford to make a car payments can return the car to the dealership, and a homeowner can hand the keys back to the bank if they can't keep up with the mortgage payments. Basically, what I'm saying is that student loans cannot be filed as bankruptcy, meaning if the students have acquired the loan, they have no choice but to pay the loan. You are stuck with the loan until you have paid off every single penny. Secondly, let's talk about the alternatives to college. We live in a society where we can access the internet from the tip of our fingers. We can access any information at any time, at any given moment. Information is everywhere, and the thing about information is it's free. Yet people are still spending thousands of dollars to get the same information they could have gotten from the internet. And people do this because we have put degrees in such a pedestal that not pursuing it just seems wrong, but today that's not the case. Today we have a lot of alternatives like boot camps, certificate programs, and platforms like Skillshare and Masterclass, where a person can literally learn about basically anything they want, and in a cheap price too. And on top of that, these programs they provide with a valid certification, giving credibility to a person regarding a specific subject. Like for instance, companies like Alphabet Inc., Google, Amazon.com, Microsoft Corp, they all are launching programs which certify vocational completion and lead to well-paying tech job in or outside of their companies. For example, in August, Google announced scholarship for 100,000 students for a 6-month online certification, including one in data science. The company said it would treat the certification as the equivalent of a 4-year degree if students apply for a related role at Google. According to Christopher Deed, who is a professor at Harvard Graduate School of Education, says that as a critical mass of companies and nonprofits launch their own credentials that become valuable in the labor market, traditional college will lose their monopoly. The minute you have enough groups from industry or the military or nonprofit validate these things, you provide a way of bypassing educational institution, and that will open the door to people not having to get a bachelor's degree as a warrant to enter the workplace. Now, college is not one size fits all. Given there are a lot of alternatives, what's missing from this rising model is the sort of coming of age experience that students crave. But students can definitely go in the traditional way of college path, but if you want to acquire education in a cheap price, then this model is perfect for you and other people. Now, last but not least, I would like to finish this presentation by talking about the unnecessary courses students have to take just to fulfill their credit hours. At the University of Kentucky, where I go to, you need about 120 credit hours to graduate. This means students like myself have to take extensive amount of courses that has absolutely nothing to do with our major, just to reach certain credit hours. Now, I have a problem with this structure because having to take courses that has no interest to us students makes the burden of study loads heavier. Now each price comes with its own price tag, meaning the more courses you take, the more money you would have to pay. And given the student debt in the United States is already skyrocketing, making it even harder for young people to pay the money back. The burden of debt also contributes to acute mental health issues, including prolonged stress, anxiety, and a feeling of shame. A 2021 mental health study survey indicated 1 in 14 borrowers experienced suicidal ideation in response to the financial stress of student loans. Among borrowers who were unemployed or making less than $50,000 per year, this rate jumped to 1 in 8. In summary, there should be an option to not take extra classes that are not related to a student's major, because it helps cut down tuition and makes the weight of academic stress less, and can help boost academic involvement significantly. In conclusion, college is just another business model. Education should not be that expensive. And after being in college for 4 years, I can tell you that the cost definitely outweighs the benefits. One way to solve this would be to cut down tuition, making it affordable to everyone, or exposing or shining the light to other alternatives, because a lot of these kids don't even know the alternatives to college. They see college as the only way to success, when there are, matter of fact, a lot of alternatives to reach that success. This concludes my presentation. Thank you all for your time.